Hi, it's Jamie Arenthal. Welcome to your vinyasa yoga class. Today, I just want to remind you that we are practicing ahimsa or loving kindness. And what does that mean in practical terms? It means we don't push to the point of injury. We are not looking for pain. We're really looking for ways to soothe our nervous system. Right. And if along the way we sweat a little and we strengthen our bones and we increase our balance, that's all great. But the nervous system is our priority. And we soothe the nervous system by managing our breath. So in yogic terms, that's pranayama, where the yama part of it is the constraint or the control. So we're going to really focus on using the inhalations to elongate our spine, to fill ourselves up, to nourish ourselves with fresh oxygen and allow our cells to have that infusion of nourishment. And then we're going to exhale, and that exhalation helps us to ground, helps us to slow things down, helps us to release, let go, accept, surrender. And in Vegas terms, it really allows the body to re-regulate, right? To allow us to come into balance, to allow certain neurotransmitters to get secreted, to help us take care of all of the stress hormones that we're so on high every day. Like the next thing, let's do the next thing, let's do the next thing. That's all adrenaline and cortisol. So that's really for today, focusing on ahimsa, loving kindness, soothing, easing. And that doesn't mean we can't do hard work. We can still do physical, hard, challenging things. It's just the challenge to keep things easy, to keep our mind at ease. And to that end, please use props, straps, blocks, chairs, and whatever you need to do to help make the poses accessible. Here we go. So let's begin standing at the top edge of our mat. Feet are parallel, hip width apart. You can lift your toes up and spread them out. Make space between the toes. And then activate your arches in your feet. And by doing that, we're lifting the kneecaps gently, activating our quadriceps. And then if you like, add mula bandha, which is the root lock. So it's like a little lift in that groin area, not squeezing the buttocks. So see if you can keep the buttocks relaxed and engage your pubococcygeal muscles. And then think about lifting your spine, stacking one vertebra on top of the next. Notice if that makes you throw your head back and your chin up. So instead, just tuck your chin down, bringing that jawline parallel to the floor and taking the wrinkles out of the back of your neck. Make your neck long on all sides. Beautiful. And then the shoulders. So let's start by rolling the shoulders forward, lift up to ears, roll back behind you, and then release down by your sides. And that should turn the palms forward a little bit. So it's our Tadasana pose. Repeat. Inhale those shoulders up to your ears and exhale them down your back. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, shoulders back. One more time like that. Beautiful. And for those of you who recognize it, this is also the power stance. Or you could even place the hands on the hips, right? That's that superwoman pose that lifts the heart, and that also sends a surge of confidence through our bodies. Let's bring our hands to a prayer at the heart. You can close your eyes here, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Set your intention for this yoga practice. So like me, it could be ahimsa, loving kindness and compassion, or you can choose something other. There's no wrong answer here. And go ahead, float your eyes open. Inhale, your prayer hands up above. If you like, you can take a little bit of a back bend here with knees soft. Exhale, swan dive over, hinging at the hip. Let your head go. Shake your head no, shake your head yes. And then bend your knees even more. Pull belly button in, and as you exhale, roll your way up. Head last to come up. Circle those shoulders, up, back, down. Inhale again, reach up. Exhale, swan dive. Shake head, shake shoulders, wiggle it out, and bend knees, one vertebra at a time, rolling up, head last, shoulders up, back, down. Adding a flat back, inhale, swan dive. This time, come halfway up. You can walk your hands up your legs and extend the spine. So we don't want to be here rounded. We want to almost find cow back, right? That cat-cow motion. And as you exhale, pull your belly button in, round over, nose toward knees. And again, knees can stay soft. You can have a block under your hands to make this more accessible. And let's do that again. So walk your hands up, inhale, there's your cow pose. And exhale, belly button in, here's your cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more, inhale, cow. And from here, we'll reverse swan dive. Exhale, centering breath at the heart. One more time like that, deep breath in. Maybe there's a back bend. Swan dive, hinging at the hip. Coming up, inhale, flat back, cow pose, and exhale, cat pose. Nose to knees, please. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, nose to knees. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, nose to knees. Last time, come on up, halfway, and then reverse swan dive. Maybe there's a back bend, and then exhale, centering breath to your heart. So one more thing we can do here in standing. You could interlace your fingers, all but the pointers. Inhale, coming up tall. Engage Mula Bandha. And then as you exhale, bow to one side. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the other side. Continue like this. Inhaling, lift yourself tall to center. And exhaling, come to the side. You could always use a hand to support you. Back to center and the other side. Remember using whatever you need. And one more time, inhale tall and exhale to one side. Inhale tall, exhale to the other side. And back to center, inhale. Release your hands down and let's just take a little twist, knees soft. Let your head go. Beautiful. All right. So we'll begin our sun salutations. I'll turn sideways. So in our Tadasana pose, so toes lifted and spread, arches engaged, shoulders back behind you, palms facing forward, Tadasana. Inhale, look up toward your hands. Exhale, swan dive over. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold, nose to knees. Right foot steps back, arms by ears, Anjaneyasana. Pause for a moment. You can make this easier by placing the knee on the floor if that's comfortable. And even if you want that leg straight, start with a little bend in the right knee, bend your left knee more. Just see how, just by bending that right knee, your tailbone can drop a little bit. And then keeping the tailbone aiming down, stretch that right heel behind you. You'll feel that stretch in the front of the right thigh, right hip flexor. Nice. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog. Keep in mind that if you are modifying, you could always stand and place your hands on a chair here, creating that 90-degree angle that we have in our hip. In downward dog, you just do it in a standing position. All right. Inhale, coming forward into a plank, and exhale back to downward dog. We'll do this a few times, just warming up through the core, through the shoulders, through the hips. And the modification for this Could be knees on floor, back and forth, child's pose to plank on your knees. So do what you need to. Remember to breathe. So the inhale is for your plank, lengthening the spine, no wrinkles back of neck. The exhale, downward dog. See if you can reach those heels toward the floor. One more like that. And downward facing dog. Beautiful. Bend your knees a little bit. You could lift that right leg up. And as you exhale, step the right foot forward. So we're in that low lunge on the left side. I love turning this into a twist. So right arm up to the sky. We always like to twist in this direction first, just for the health of our intestines. And then exhale the right hand down, left foot forward, forward fold. So just keeping it simple. Inhale halfway up, reverse your swan. And exhale, centering breath to your heart. Left side, deep breath in, swan dive. Exhale, halfway up. Fill that chest, the lungs, and exhale, nose to knees. Left foot back, arms by ears, high lunge. So feel free to make those adjustments, left knee all the way to the floor, or bend the left knee. See how that allows your lumbar spine to lengthen a little bit, take some pressure off. You could stay here, or bend that right knee a little bit more and send that left heel behind you. Feeling that stretch in the left hip flexor, front of left thigh. Breathing easily here. Always through the nose. And then release, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank, back to down dog. Inhale, plank, either on your toes or knees. Exhale, down dog or child's pose if you're doing it on your knees. Continue, really use that breath. It helps to strengthen you. So inhale, elongate the spine, get really long from heels to crown of head, and then exhale back. See if you can sink those heels down a little closer toward the mat. Nice. And last one like that. You're in downward facing dog. You can soften your knees, lift that left leg up. If you like, step it forward. Take that twist. And then left hand down, right foot forward, forward fold. Halfway up, reverse your swan. Exhale, centering breath to your heart. Adding on. Deep breath. Remember, there could be that back bend here if you like it. Swan dive over, let it go. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale to fold. So really working on that spinal flexion and extension. Right leg back. High lunge. Downward facing dog. We'll come through a modified vinyasa. Inhale to your plank. Lower your knees, your chin, your chest. Bend those elbows into the ribs. And then on your inhale, on your belly, toes down, gently press halfway up, baby cobra. Exhale, lower your chin or your forehead. Knees bend, child's pose. Feel free to rest in child's pose whenever you see it coming. You can enjoy it. Downward facing dog. Right leg up, step it forward, right arm up, and release, step forward. Inhale halfway up, reverse your swan, and exhale, centering breath to your heart. Last one like that, left side, inhale, back bend if you choose, swan dive over. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale and fold. Left leg back. High lunge, Anjaneyasana. Make your adjustments. downward facing. Modified vinyasa, plank, knees, chin, chest. Baby cobra, back bend. Child's pose, down dog. Left leg up, step it forward. Left arm up, and step to the front. Inhale, half up, and reverse. Swan dive. Exhale, centering breath to your heart. Nice. If you like, you could walk your feet to touch. Chair pose. Make sure the bottom is reaching back behind you. Spine is long in its natural curve. And then release it, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, prepare. So you have those choices here. If you like, look forward, bend your knees, send those legs back. So I'll repeat that. Let's do a double vinyasa day. What do you say? Inhale forward to plank. Look forward. There's still no wrinkles in the back of your neck. You're activating those kneecaps. Really strengthen those legs. And then only elbows bend, scraping the waist. And then onto the tops of your feet, eyes of the elbows pointing forward as you straighten your arms. Notice my hips are not on the floor. Yeah. Exhale, straight legs to downward facing dog. So these vinyasas, optional. Feel free to do the double vinyasas with me if you like. Right leg up, option to bend the knee. See if that helps you to get the left heel down to the floor. Square off your shoulders so you get more of a stretch to that waist, the quadratus lumborum. Your next exhale, the right foot steps through your hands. Let's lower the back heel down. Warrior one. So enjoy this. Straighten the left leg even more, bend the right knee even more. Drop those shoulders down. We want to send those shoulder blades down our backs if possible. Nice. And then reach those arms behind you. Now, depending on your shoulders, you may just keep the arms reaching back, or you could interlace the fingers. See if you could bring the heels of the hands together if you're doing this. Keep that right knee bent, right? And then see if you can reach those thumbs down the back of the left leg. So we're creating that chest expansion and back bend. Maybe you'll straighten the front leg just to see how that feels. And then devotional warrior. So bend the right knee, lead with your heart, placing that right shoulder on or inside that right knee. Tuck your chin, pointing crown toward the mat, and lift your knuckles up toward the sky. Remember, your hands can be wide open here, just reaching behind you if that's more comfortable. Release your hands, sweep them forward. Reach up, here's your warrior one, and then take it directly to your warrior two. You can swivel your gaze toward that back arm. Just make sure the left arm is shoulder height, and then swivel your gaze back toward your right hand. Turn the right palm over, sweep that right arm up. Left hand is resting on that left thigh. Look up. Again here, if you like, if it feels good, you could straighten the right leg just to see how that feels, one long line from right fingertips to right toes. And then we'll bend the right knee, cartwheel the hands to the floor. Your option here, you could go straight back to down dog and wait for us, or come through your version of vinyasa. Settle into downward dog. Use that exhalation, calming, rebalancing. Left leg up. Feel free to open that hip, bend the knee, square off that left shoulder. As you exhale, left foot steps forward, right heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Remember to activate that right leg, straighten it, bend that left knee even more. Are there wrinkles in the back of your neck? Get rid of them. Right, so we want to keep that jawline parallel unless you use these opportunities for a back bend. But even here, we want the back of the neck smooth, the throat open, relaxed. Nice. And then go ahead and reach those arms behind you. So maybe the arms stay here, right? Palms facing down, or maybe you'll interlace, but interlace the awkward way. So the opposite thumb on top, it's going to feel a little strange. And if you can, pull the heels of the hands to touch. Bend that left knee more. You can slide your hands back down that right leg, creating that chest expansion opportunity. If you like it, to straighten the left leg. Just see how that feels. Bending the left knee, devotional warrior. Lead with the heart. Left shoulder on the left knee or inside of it. Tuck chin, crown points to floor, knuckles lift towards sky. Continue to breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Releasing the fingers to the floor, sweep them forward. Inhale, lifting up. Warrior one to warrior two. Gently swivel your gaze toward that right arm. See if that right arm is shoulder height. And then swivel gaze back to left fingertips. Bend that left knee even more. Imagine that there's a vertical line from your crown to your tail. Right, so resist leaning forward or back here. And then left palm opens, tip it back, peaceful. Gazing up if that's comfortable for you. Maybe you'll straighten that left leg and just feel that long line from left fingertips to left toes. Left knee bends, cartwheel hands. Options, go straight back to your down dog or through vinyasa. Settle in to downward dog, or maybe on your knees, child's pose. Use this moment to bring your awareness inside. Watch your breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Bend your knees, look forward. You can step, hop, jump. Inhaling flat back. If your feet were touching, walk those feet to touch. And exhale, fold, bending the knees, arms by ears, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale to stand, mountain pose, Tadasana. We'll take it a little bit faster now. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back, prepare your journey back. Vinyasa to downward facing. Right leg up, feel free to open that hip. Use the opportunity to glue your left heel to the floor. Warrior one on the right. Interlace fingers, devotional warrior. Exhale everything out. As you inhale, warrior two. Reversing warrior and vinyasa. Inhale the left leg up. Use that opportunity to glue the right heel down. Warrior one, left side. Hands behind you, interlace the other way. Devotional warrior. Exhale everything out, chin to chest. Inhale, sweeping the fingers up, warrior one to warrior two. And take it all the way to peaceful. Your vinyasa. Breathe. Looking between your thumbs, step, step, or hop, flat back, and fold. Chair pose, Tadasana. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Flat back, prepare. Vinyasa. Right leg. Warrior one. One more time. Devotional warrior. Exhale. And inhale. Let's take it straight back to peaceful. Vinyasa. Left leg up. Warrior one. Interlace the awkward way. Devotional exhale. Inhale all the way to peaceful. Vinyasa. Downward dog, breathe. Look between hands, step, hop, jump. Flat back, fold. Chair. And Tadasana. Let's do it again. Inhale, chair. Exhale to fold. Inhale, prepare. Vinyasa. Right leg up. Warrior one. Virabhadrasana. Devotional warrior. Peaceful warrior. Vinyasa. Left leg. Virabhadrasana. Devotional warrior. Peaceful warrior. Vinyasa. Breathe. Look forward, step, hop, jump. Flat back and fold. Chair pose. and Tadasana. Beautiful. So for our next few poses, make sure you have something, a chair, maybe something to hold on to. You may need it. We'll bring the arms up in front of us, beginning with the right arm. Let's do it with the left. So we'll take that left arm and sweep it under the right. Now, maybe the backs of your hands touch. Maybe you can get the palms to touch, or if not at all, you can have an extended namaste if you like. So the left arm is under. Bend the knees, come into that chair pose, hips behind you. We're going to put all the weight on the right foot and just start to lift the left heel off. So you can cross that left leg over the right. Now, maybe you're going to use that left toe on the floor as like a little kickstand, or maybe you can double wrap. Really depends on you. And you're squeezing the thighs together. Go ahead and lift the elbows up. Now, some people have in their practice where they bring the left elbow to the left knee. So I want you, if you're going to try that, just make sure you're pulling the belly button in and tucking the chin, and you're thinking of cat pose, right? Otherwise, we're going to stay upright, keep those elbows lifting, maybe double wrapping, squeeze those thighs, bend the right knee even more. Now have an option. You can stay here. And remember, if you're unhappy here, you can always put that left foot down and just have a regular chair. And then the other option, carefully uncross and bring that left leg behind you. So you're in eagle arms, warrior three. And then from here, bend that front leg, step that left leg behind you. Now you can stay here with the arms. You could cross that left elbow over that right knee. Do you need to? No. You can unwind the arms and just do a regular twisting lunge. You could move the hands to a prayer. But if you liked it, here you are. Yeah, it's a little twist with an eagle arm. So we're just stretching the shoulders, the opposite direction of our devotional warriors. Yeah. Oh, happy day. And then for those of you who are done with this, you can put the hands on the floor and step left foot forward. For the rest of us, maybe there's a vinyasa here. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely sweating. It's summer. Nice. And then your journey back to the top of your mat. Chair and stand. All right. So now we'll try that the other way. So bend the elbows. This time the right arm goes underneath, maybe back of hands touching, maybe palms, maybe you're here. Extended namaste. Right? Bend the knees, you're in a chair. This time the weight's on the left foot. We'll take that right heel off the floor and cross the right leg over. Maybe this side's easier to double wrap. Right? Maybe the right toe stays on the floor. First step, elbows lift. So you're bringing your spine into a nice long spine where you'd want to be in any chair pose, right? Bending that left knee. For those of you who want the cat back, pull your belly button in, tuck your chin, and bow right elbow to right knee. For the rest of us, spine nice and long. Remember, you're using whatever props you need here. Maybe you're holding on. Maybe that right toe's on the floor as a little kickstand. And if you're happy here, stay here. Remember, you can always uncross your legs and plant your right foot on the floor and just be in a regular chair. Just keep those arms where they are. And then the next step may be uncross, start to reach that right leg behind you, coming into your warrior three. Notice what you're gazing at. Make sure it's an unmoving spot. Soften your gaze. And then if you're done here, you can always step forward or bend that left knee, reach that right toe behind you, and cross that right elbow over that left knee for a twist. Remember, you can always separate your arms here, either placing that right hand on the floor or on the outside of that left foot. Any version works just fine. And then for those of us who can't get enough vinyasa. When you're ready, front of mat, chair, Tadasana. Beautiful. Circle those shoulders. If you have blocks, move them in a little bit closer so they're on your mat. And I'd like to practice our half moons, maybe with twists. So half moons, Ardha Chandrasana, are usually done with one hand on the floor, but there's also potentially a balancing element. So let's see. Let's try those arms again. Start with the left underneath. Take your, I think we wanted to do the right underneath. I have this wrong. Yeah? Left. No, that's right. Okay. Left is underneath. We're going to lift the right foot off the floor. No, it is the opposite. Let's switch it. I wish I could cut that out. The other way, ladies and gents. Okay, so it's the right arm underneath, and it's the left foot that lifts up and crosses over. There we go. I want to make sure we're twisting in the direction I want us to end up twisting in. So sorry about that. All right, so go ahead and extend the left leg behind you. Remember, right away now, your hands could be on those blocks, right? That's always an option. See if, for me, I think I am releasing my hands, but you can stay bound in eagle arms if you want. Flex your left foot and start to turn your left toes to the left. And then if you're not binding arms, that left arm can reach to the sky. So we're in Ardha Chandrasana. And to make this even more challenging, right, you're still bound in the arms. If you're not bound and you just want a little something, something, you can always reach for that left foot and pull. That's dancer on the moon. If you fall out of the pose, it's just an opportunity to try it again. If you bound, release it. If you're holding on, both hands are now in the blocks and hips are square. And then the right arm can reach up to the sky. So you're in a twisting half moon or revolved Utthita Ardha Chandrasana. See if you can look up toward that right thumb. And then if you want, you can release those hands. Go ahead and bend the knees and step your left knee outside the right foot. Sit down. Bring that left arm around. So the right knee is in the crook of the elbow or beyond, right? If you have a bind, you can always place it beyond that knee. And then start to rotate your gaze toward the back of your room. Half Maharishi pose. Coming back to center, weight on that right foot. If you like, standing split. So maybe you need blocks. You're going to point the toe. Bring your nose towards your knee. Some of you may try holding on to that right ankle. Then start with the right hand. That's usually a little easier. Or you could try it with the left. Or you can do both. Or neither. Beautiful. And then there's that optional vinyasa. So for those of you who want it, we'll meet you at the top of the mat. All right. So let's do it from here. The right arm under. Take the right heel off the floor and cross over and see if you can double wrap. Take that eagle pose. And then carefully unwind the legs, reaching the right leg behind. And you can keep the arm bind or left hand to your mat or block, right arm to the sky. Ardha Chandrasana, all limb pose. Remember, for those of you, if you're not bound, you might want to bend the right knee and take that dancer on the moon pose. Just pull that foot away from the right hand. Releasing. And maybe if you're not arm bound, both hands on the block, and we'll take that left arm up to the sky for revolved Ardha Chandrasana, Utthita Ardha Chandrasana. Release, and then bending both knees, place right knee outside left foot, coming to sit through. Right arm wraps around left knee, or maybe you're taking that elbow beyond, left hand behind and twist, half Maharishi pose. So whichever is best for you. Inhale to lengthen your spine, exhale to deepen the pose, settle in, let go of something you no longer need. And then back to center, planting that left foot on the floor, walk your way forward, maybe stopping in warrior three, or if you prefer, standing split. If you like, you could use your left hand to hold on to that left ankle, or try the right hand on the left ankle, or both. Optional vinyasa. We'll meet you in downward facing dog. When you're ready, wide knee child's pose. Big toes touching, knees to the outer edges of the mat. So last little bit here, we'll try crow pose, Bakasana. And for some of you, if an arm balance is not appropriate, I'll give you other options. So the first, we're talking crow. Hands are in chaturanga position. You can come up. Start to place your knees or the shins onto the backs of your arms and lean forward. Pull your belly button in and gaze forward. So maybe you'll lift one toe today and then try the other toe, maybe both toes. The alternative pose here is a prayer squat. So the heels come down. If you notice, my toes are pointing wide. You could even use a block and sit, right? That's also an option, right? And if that's not good, you always have the option of Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So if you're in bound angle pose, you can take a forward bend and rest. So the most challenging here is crow. And I'm going to show you a little hack. I hate to call it a cheat, but a little hack. So one of the biggest fears of doing crow pose is that you're going to hit your face on the floor. So to take that away and to still give you that feeling of lift, you can take one block or two and place the hands about 6 inches. You're forming a triangle between the block and your hands. Start to place your knees, shins on the backs of your arms and shift the weight forward. So if you were just doing a regular crow now, you'd be pulling the belly button in and looking forward and then lifting the toes. For our purposes today, tuck your chin and allow the crown of your head to come to the block. So automatically my feet are off the floor and I'm in crow. So you can always try that as a hack if you like. Just remember, you don't want to put a lot of weight on your neck and you want to make sure there's a distance between your hands and that block. So start your way to crow and then tuck chin and allow those feet to come up. Yep. And then when you're done, we'll all come to Baddha Konasana, Baddha, bound angle seat, right? Like a cobbler pose. Inhale, lift your chest, and exhale forward. Let your head go. From here, we'll do pigeon pose. And keep in mind, you can always do pigeon on your back, right? That's the kinder, safer way to do pigeon. You're on your back, you cross the right ankle over first, you reach through the triangle formed by your legs, and ta-da, you're in pigeon. For the rest of us, to do a prone pigeon, so we start in Baddha Konasana, and there's a reason I want to do this. I want you to imagine that right knee is going to stay off the mat. Lean to the right, extend your left leg behind you, right? And make sure you're wriggling the right toes toward the left wrist, right? That right knee points out and away from you. You can come on up to your fingertips for a nice protected back bend. Roll the shoulders behind you, heart and gaze to the sky. And then as you exhale, melt your way down, either to your elbows, stacking fists so head is aligned with spine, or you can go lower, elbows wide, hands flat, forehead backs of hands. And some of you have full prostration. Some of you also have a twist. So I can show you the twist if you like. Bringing that right arm forward and the left knuckles to the floor. Slide that arm through like a little thread the needle. And then you could reach that right arm behind you and see if you can grab that right big toe. Maybe yes. Or you can stay right here in this lovely pigeon. We have 5 more breaths. Imagine that exhale is just a way to release whatever tension you're still holding. When you're ready to come out, hands under shoulders, back bending, maybe on your fingertips, or if you'd like a bind, king pigeon pose, bend that left knee. Left arm reaches back and behind to the inside of the left foot. This is great. If you want a little bit more, you could have Gomukhasana arms. When you're ready, you can release. Sit off to that right hip. Swing that left leg around, Baddha Konasana. And if you want, just to check, you could try that fold over the legs and just notice how much softer that right hip feels now. And then we'll come to do it on the other side. So if you're doing this supine on your back, your left ankle crossed over the right thigh, you're hugging that right leg in. Otherwise, keep that left knee pointing off the edge of your mat. Sit over to that left hip, sweep that right leg behind you. Wriggle that left toe closer to that right wrist. You can come on up for that little preparatory back bend just to see where you're at. And then exhale, melt your way down. Stack fists, rest forehead. Maybe you'll go a little bit deeper here, wide elbows, flat hands, or full prostration. If you wanted to try the twist on this side, right knuckles down, thread the needle, reach that right arm through, and then either stack your hands, palms together, or reach that left arm behind you. Good thing we did all of those shoulder stretches, and see if you can grab hold of that right big toe. It's just an option. We have 5 more breaths. Let them be delicious. Let that exhale release whatever remaining tension you're carrying. Hands come out, hands under the shoulders. Here's that back bend if you like it, or if you want a bind, bending the right knee, reaching to the inside of the right foot. And you can stay here or you can bind as we did on the other side. Go ahead and release. Sit off to that left hip, sweep that right leg around. One more Baddha Konasana, just as a test, just to see if we're even in both hips, nice and soft. Walk your hands under your shoulders, knees together. You can scoot down to the end of the mat and either holding on or no hands, roll your way all the way back down to the floor, preparing for Shavasana, final relaxation. Your option, if you want to keep the feet flat on the floor, toes pointing towards each other, knees tented, or if you're more comfortable, extending your legs into a V, tucking the buttocks beneath you, knees and toes splay out to either side. And then go ahead tuck your scapula, your shoulder blades underneath you. Palms face up, no wrinkles in the back of your neck. Close your eyes, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. We'll remain here for a few minutes. You always have the option to extend the length of Shavasana. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Allow your breath to be effortless. The inhale like a wave, washing in over the sand. Breathing out like the wave, receding, washing back out to sea. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. Keeping in mind that you can stay in Shavasana as long as you desire. If you'd like to come out of Shavasana, begin by deepening your breath, breathing in, and then exhaling, letting go. Deep breath in. One more big breath like that. Deep breath in. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Circle hands at wrists. Circle feet at ankles. Reverse the direction. And then carefully bend your knees. You could rock lengthwise on your spine and come to a seated position. bringing the hands into a prayer to your heart. The word namaste means the light and the love in me. Bow to the light and the love in each of you. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your yoga practice today.